You just gotta fall back from a lot that ain't for you. You feel me? Don't be blind to no situation that's in your face. If you feel like your gut feeling is this, go with it. You're gonna get crossed if you constantly trying to show love, and yeah, it's on you. You feel me? You know, people be too friendly.
What up, world? Live on that with Mr. Be Great today, Lamar King Sr. Glad y'all tapped in with me. It's another all positive podcast. And Mr. Be Great today has some words of encouragement. And y'all already know. I'm just going to jump right on in. And the topic of discussion today is absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's time for you to focus in on what you really want. If you want that degree, it's time for you to hone in on your studies. If you want that business, it's time for you to develop a strong business plan and work it to a T. And you're going to do that by eliminating distractions, by eliminating all the outside noise, all the outside undue influence in your life, and focusing on what you want. And so many of us want to be the topic of discussion. We want to be the most likely to succeed, the senior superlatives of life, and we fail to realize that individuality and focusing in on what you want and really being goal orientated and diving deep on the things that you want is going to take some separation. It's going to take for you to get off the scene. It's going to take for you to go into seclusion and come back out a straight up monster. And see, when you separate yourself from the scene and you take yourself out the equation and you master your plan and you work it and you work it and you work it and you do it in silence and you do it without telling the world and you do it without making a post and you do it without making a tweet, you give yourself this undivided attention that is needed. And so many of us, we want that congratulatory, celebrated attaboys, pat on the back, clap at every little step of the way. And we want the acknowledgement that we making moves, that we doing big things, that we in our bag. We want everybody to see it. We want everybody to acknowledge it. We want everybody to know that we are making these big major moves in life. But I'm here to tell you, I challenge you to go in silence. I challenge you to go in seclusion. I challenge you to be absent from the general population of life. I challenge you to really, really hone in on your craft. I challenge you to give yourself 3, 4, 5, 6 months of just straight grinding and working on yourself and working on your plan and working on your business and working on your goals and your educational goals and all these different things that you aspire to have. I challenge you to go in that gym without your phone. I challenge you to go to a restaurant without filming your plate. I challenge you to do the things that you know you need to do. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, everything that happens in your life, everything that you aspire to have, everything that you aspire to accomplish, and it's all up to you. And anything that you fall short of, all the disparities of life, all the things that you go through, at the end of the day, it is your fault. Is the reason why you don't have them. It's your fault, the reason why you're not where you want to be in life. And the moment you start acknowledging that, the moment you start holding yourself accountable, the moment you start living by that bathroom mirror and looking at yourself in the eyes and telling yourself that you're not where you want to be because of your decision making, is the day you start growing. It's the day you become a real adult. It's time for you to stop playing the blame game. It's time for you to stop being a victim of circumstance. It's time for you to stop making excuses. It's time for you to stop giving explanations of what happened and why it happened. You are not an NFL referee in the replay booth. You don't have the headphones. You don't put the hood over your head. It's not time for you to give an explanation of what happened and why it happened and who's at fault. Mr. Be Great today is here to tell you that you are at fault. It is your fault that things are not going as planned. It is your fault that you didn't have the plan. It is your fault that you didn't write down your goals. It is your fault that you're having financial situations or financial disparities in your life. It is your fault that things are not going accordingly. And I challenge you to get off the scene. It's time for you to fall back and get inside your prayer closet or wherever you want to go. And it's time for you to hone in on what you want. It's time for you to be deliberate about the things that you aspire to have. And until you make a decision that I don't have to be in every I don't have to be at every function. I don't have to be on every post giving my opinion. I don't have to keep trying to give myself out as to reason why I'm in this situation. It's time for you to stop talking about why the relationship didn't work no more. It's time for you to stop talking about why your business failed. It's time for you to get to work. It's time for you to go in the lab. It's time for you to get deliberate about the things that you want. And until you do it, and until you be serious, and until you be deliberate about who you are and why you want the things you want, and until you really be truthful with yourself, you're going to continue to have these shortcomings. You're going to continue to have these growing pains. You're going to continue to have failure after failure after failure. Now, me, I'm a fan of failure. I failed at many things in life. I failed at so many things that some people be like, damn, Lamar, you doing that now? Damn, Lamar, you doing that? Yes. Because you know what? I'm going to keep swinging that bat. I'm going to keep giving myself a chance. I'm going to keep putting my name in that hat. And I challenge you to do the same thing. Don't be afraid of what they're going to say. I challenge you to develop a I don't give a fuck mindset. Because at the end of the day, they're going to talk about you. Even when you're laying in that casket and they ask you to we're going to give you 2 minutes to talk about. And they're going to speak about all the great things that you did. They're going to speak about all the great person that you were. Right? But you got to sit out here and live with the people that probably going to stand up at your funeral. That's probably going to give you all the praise while you in that casket. And they talked about you like a dog when you was alive. They talked about all the things that you fell short at when you were alive. Family, friends, and otherwise, they all do it. And that's why it's a must that you go in seclusion. That's why it's a must for you to get off the scene. That's why it's a must for you to fall back and get in your bag of tricks and get into your goal and get into your journal and understand that you got to develop a plan and you got to work it to a T. And until the day that you decide that, hey, I'm not here for a popularity contest, until you decide that, hey, I'm not here for the attaboys, hey, I'm not here for an honors day program, I'm here to make sure that my life is filled with happiness, peace, love, enjoyment, fulfillment, because of my success, because of what I want to do, because of how I feel about myself. Because so much we have these negative thoughts rolling around in our head, and then we have so many negative thoughts rolling around outside of our body that's coming into us from all different walks of life, all different people, all different places, and we let it feed us. We let it stop us from doing what we really want to do. We let it stop us from doing the things that we aspire to have, and then we wonder why we go through these challenges. We wonder why we fall short of what we really want, because we want to be in the mix. I challenge you to fall back. It's time for you to go in that lab. It's time for you to really work on yourself. If you want a better body, you want a better life, you want a longevity in life, go to the gym, start eating right. You want to get to that, you want to get another degree, a higher education to go. It's time to go sign up. The financial aid office is open Monday through Friday. Like, they got so many different resources out here that we fail to use. And you don't have the things that you want, it's because you are not doing it. It is your fault. You are the reason behind it. And because you want to show everybody your hand. You want to show everybody that you making moves. You got the motion. You got the sauce. And that's the thing that's hindering you from getting where you want to go. But I challenge you to go in silence. I challenge you to go off the scene. I challenge you to get ghost. And because I tell you, when you are off the scene and you're gone for a minute, it makes the heart grow fonder. It makes people be like, hey, well, girl, I ain't seen her in a while. Delete that app off your phone. You ain't got to delete your page. Delete the app off your phone for a couple months and work on yourself and work on your goals and work on your plans. Because we've been so accustomed to doing the things that we've been doing for the last 7 to 10 years that we feel like we got to broadcast all our plays. We got to broadcast all our moves. We got to show all the motion that we got going on. We want to show the world that, hey, I'm in my bag. Hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And guess what? Mr. Be Great today is a victim of that as well. I do it as well. That's something we all have to work on. But I challenge you to be strategic about who you are. I challenge you to truly go in silence. I challenge you to really go in your bag of tricks and learn how to do things on a better level. I challenge you to hold yourself accountable and stop pointing that finger. I challenge you to be that person that you truly want to be. I challenge you to go back to that childhood superhero that you once admired. I want you to understand that you are who you want to be. You are who you say you are. You are who you think you are. And until you really get serious about it, until you really focus in on that mirror every morning, until you focus in on the plans and goals that you write down each and every day, you're going to fall short. And you're going to continue to fall short. You got to start over. You got to do this. You got to do that. There's nothing wrong with it, but I want you to get serious about your shit. I want you to get serious about your life. And I want you to, separate yourself from a lot of stuff. Stop showing up to every function. Stop being in the mix every time something going on. You don't have to do that. There's nothing wrong with sitting at home and working your plan. There's nothing wrong with really riding in the car on long trips by yourself in deep thought and understanding that, hey, I got something to do. I got places to go. I got people to see. I got goals to accomplish. I got a checklist I got to check off, and I'm going to do it by any means necessary. And so many of us are so caught up in just wanting these likes. We get that dopamine feeling from these likes and these congratulations from on comments, and we get so many false senses of hope from the world outside when we're just a mess on the inside. We're a mess on the inside because we're not focused in. We want everybody to acknowledge us. It's time for you to be off the scene for a minute. It's time for you to go in silence. It's time for you to work the shit you got going on. And until you do it, until you really get serious, until you focus in and hone in on your craft and hone in on the things that you want, you're going to always be filled with disparities. You're always going to be filled with that, I could have did more. There's so many of us, so many talented people in this world that are going to die with their gifts inside of them. There's so many smart and intelligent people in this world that no one will ever know about. And there's someone who's listening to me right now. Someone who's under the sound of my voice right now, going through some different changes, going through some financial hardships, going through some emotional struggles. And they won't take the time to put that phone down. They won't take the time to delete them social media apps for a while. They won't take the time to be deliberate about the things they want. They want a pity party. We all do it. We want somebody to hear our side. I just need somebody to vent to. Vent to yourself. Tell yourself why you're in that situation and be honest. Why are you overweight? Because you at the 2 for $20 every day. Why do I have an issue? Why I can't save no money? Because you at happy hour every other day. Why I can't do this? Because you're not being deliberate about who you are and what you want. And it's so important that my listeners understand that this life that we live, we're not gonna make it out alive. One day they're gonna say ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And what would you have to show for it? If you got kids, what would you leave behind for them? If you don't have kids, what type of legacy are you leaving behind as you leave this world? Because I promise you, once you get in that casket, you're gonna get off the scene then. You ain't gonna be in the mix then. You're probably not even gonna be in conversation. But you're doing so much to be relevant today. We do so many things to be the topic of discussion today. But one day that head gonna get cold, as grandmama said. One day you're gonna have to lay down and take your last breath. And what are you gonna leave behind? What are people gonna have to say? Or is your name gonna live on? Or is it just gonna be on your birthday every year? Or is it gonna be on your death anniversary every year? Are you gonna have something, some type of tool or system or mechanism in place that's gonna live on far after you're gone? Have you worked on something in deliberate action that's gonna leave a legacy for you and your kids, your family, your friends, and the people that love you? Are you gonna leave something behind? Or are you gonna continue to just be like a pinball and bounce around life and just live by the seat of your pants and not be deliberate about the things that you want in life? I challenge you to go in silence. I challenge you to go in seclusion. I challenge you to be deliberate and go into deep thought and deep planning of who you are and the things you want to accomplish in life. It's not that hard. We make it hard. We make life difficult. We make life challenging because we're not detailed and we're not precise about the things that we really, really, truly aspire to have in this world. So many of us, we want different things. We want the designer clothes. We want the big house. We want the big cars. All that is a bill. All that is going to take you away from your true purpose in life. Your true purpose in life is to live in abundance within yourself. Your true purpose in life is to enjoy the family and the friends and the loved ones around you. If you got all these material possessions of the world and you got to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week, when are you going to have time to enjoy the life that you live? When are you going to have time to enjoy the family and friends around you? Because you're so busy trying to chase that dollar. You're so busy trying to make yourself relevant in circles of people who really don't even give a damn about you. I challenge you to go in seclusion. I challenge you to go into solitude with yourself and understand where do you want to go? What is the destination that you're trying to get to? So many of us are focused on the journey. We're focused on trying to meet the standards of the world today. So many of us are taking advice from people on relationships, from people who are not even in a relationship. So many of us are taking advice from people in business from people who don't even have a successful business. But Mr. Be Great Today is all about that great today mindset. It's all about being a positive being of light in this world that we live in. It's all about being a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. And the only way you're going to do that, you're going to have to get yourself off the scene sometimes. You're going to get yourself out the mix at some point in life. You don't have to be in every function. You don't have to be in everything that's going on. You don't have to show the world you got the sauce and you got the motion and you got the bag. That's not gonna give you the true peace and happiness that you desire to have. It's not gonna give you the things that you're trying to accomplish. You're out here chasing the world and trying to impress the world, and your goals, you haven't looked at your goals all week. You haven't written down your goals all month. You haven't read a book this year. But yet and still you're trying to say you're growing and you're getting better and you're trying to do great things. I challenge you. It's time for you to focus on yourself. It's time for you to take accountability for your action. It's time for you to be decisive about the things that you want. And it's time for you to go in solitude and get into that goal and get into that journal and understand that, hey, I'm trying to get somewhere. I got a destination to go to. I got places to go. I got things to do. And I ain't got time to be involved in everything that's going on. I ain't got time to prove myself to other people. It's time for me to prove myself to myself. It's time for me to show myself approved. It's time for me to show myself that I can do this. I am the person that I've always wanted to be. And until you decide that what everyone else thinks about you and what everyone's perception of you means has no meaning or bearing on your life, you will become a better person. At the moment you stop pointing that finger and blaming everybody else and blaming every situation and blaming the city you live in and blaming the people around you and blaming those past toxic relationships and blaming the past jobs you had and blaming all this and that and third, instead of looking in that mirror and saying it's my fault. I'm the reason for my demise. I'm the reason why I'm not where I want to be. I'm the reason why I don't have any money in the bank. I'm the reason why my credit cards are maxed out and I ain't got nothing to show for it. I'm the reason why I got more bills than I got income. I'm the reason why I'm overweight. I'm the reason why I have all these bad habits. I'm the reason why I can't stay in a good relationship. I'm the reason why my kids running amok. I'm the reason why things are not going the way I want them to go. Until you start taking accountability of who you are and the reason why you're in that situation, you will continue to have shortcomings. You will continue to have disparities. You will continue to have sleepless nights. And it's time for you to go off in seclusion and get your shit together. It's time for you to tell yourself, say, self, look, we got to do something about this. What are we going to do? And get your pen and paper out and you write it down. And if that ain't what you want to do, you do it again the next day. And if that don't work, you do it again the next day. I challenge y'all. It's time for you to get real about this thing called life. And if you haven't noticed, the caskets are getting shorter and shorter. So ain't nobody living to the days of grandma. Ain't nobody living to the days of Big Mom or Papa. Ain't nobody living that long no more. Don't seem like it in my book. Everybody, I haven't been to an old person's funeral in I don't know how long. And here we are acting like we gonna live forever. Here we are, we acting like we got time to do it tomorrow. Or I get to it next week. No, you do it today. It's time for you to get serious about who you are and what you want in this life. It's time for you to go in solitude. It's time for you to go in silence. It's time for you to delete those apps. It's time for you to get serious about your fucking life. And it's time for you to go after it like your life depends on it. Because I'm here to tell you that your life does depend on it. Your children's life depends on it. Your grandchildren's life depends on it. And when are we going to be serious? When are we going to be truthful about who we are and why we in that situation? When are we going to say, hey, man, it's me. It's me. I got to do something about this and develop a strategic plan about what we're going to do. It first takes a pen and a paper. I challenge you right now. As soon as you get off this show, it's time for you to get you a piece of paper and a pencil and write down the problems you've incurred in life, no matter how big or small. Write them down. Write them down. I want you to write down everything that you've gone through in life. I want you to write down everything that you're going through in life right now. And I want you to find a solution for every one of them. And if you do this day in and day out, I promise you'll find a way to get out of the situation that you're in. I promise you'll find a way to get into a better light in your life. I challenge my listeners to get serious. When are we going to get serious about it? When are we going to get real with ourselves? When are we going to be honest enough to say it's our fault and I'm the reason why I can't do it because I got to be in the mix of everything that's going on and I haven't taken time to myself. I haven't taken time out with my family. I haven't taken time out for my finances. I haven't taken time out for my future with my kids and the people around me. When are you going to when are you going to tell yourself the truth? When are you going to stop gaslighting yourself? When are you going to stop telling yourself that you the shit? Because see, the mirror is the only used product that gives a true reflection of its own value. So you can go out here and say, well, I'm the shit, I'm a pick, I'm the prize. But guess what? You got to have a reference. It's kind of like your credit score. You can go to the car dealership or you can go to the bank and say, well, yeah, I got this and I pay my bills on time. They're going to say, okay, what's your social security number? Your social security number is going to be your reference. Somebody else got to speak on your behalf when you're talking about the value that you bring. Everybody want to say that they this and they that and they this. Okay, where's your reference? Give me your social security of life. Give me your social security of friendship. Give me your social security number of relationships. Give me your social security number of your job. Like, where is your reference? Who is going to speak on your behalf? Who's going to vouch for you that you are that person that you say you are? Who's going to, of course, we're going to give ourselves the highest praise. We're going to say we're the best person for the job. We're going to say we're the best person for the relationship. I need a reference. In this world we live in, you need a reference point to tell you who you are, to tell you what type of value you bring. Now it sounds good. It may make you feel you. And I'm not saying don't feel great about yourself. I'm not saying, play yourself down. But at some point, you got to have some evidence. You got to have some proof to say that you are who you say you are. If you the prize and you the pick, why you ain't married? If you the prize and you the pick, why you ain't got $1 million in the bank? If you the prize and the pick, why you don't have this successful business? If you the prize and you the pick and you can do all these different things, where's the proof? Where's the pudding? That they say, because that's where the proof is. Where is it? Because I'm gonna tell you where it at. It's out here in the mix. It's out here in the turn up. It's out here with these friends and family, the ones that gonna gas like you and tell you that, hey, yeah, you got your shit. Oh, your shit popping. Oh, you this, that, and the third. Man, but boy, you on your shit. The whole time, your credit score of life is a 300. You don't have nobody to vouch for you. You don't have nobody to have no type of reference of who you truly are, because you haven't taken time even with yourself. You haven't taken time to go in seclusion and go into silence and get absent and come off the scene and work on the things that you really want. You haven't focused on the destination. You're all focusing on the journey. You're all thinking about the party. You're thinking about the turn up. You're thinking about, everything that you got. You got the motion. You got the sauce. But in all actuality, you're a mess. And we all suffer from it. We all have our problems. We all have our shortcomings. But it's time for you to get serious about who the fuck you are. It's time for you to get serious about your life. It's time for you to get serious about the destination that you're trying to reach. And until you do, until you go in silence, until you separate yourself from a lot of people, until you separate yourself from a lot of things, you're going to continue to encounter the same problems you've always had all your life. That's why a lot of us go through the same situations, whether it be finances, whether it be relationships, whether it be jobs or careers or business. We go through the same things. We get to a certain point, then boom, back down to the bottom. Get to a certain point, back down to the bottom. So I challenge you to work on it. I challenge you to be consistent. I challenge you to be deliberate. I challenge you to be more decisive in your decision making in this thing called life. And until you do it, until you get serious, until you get real with yourself, until you look in that damn mirror and be honest and stop pointing the finger at everything and everybody else, you're going to continue to have the same problem. It's time for you to get off the scene. It's time for you to go in silence. It's time for you to acknowledge that it is your fault. This is my fault. I did this. I'm in this situation. There's so many people out here that have failed relationship after failed relationship, myself included. And the first person at fault is the ex. Oh, yeah, my ex wasn't shit. All this, that, and third. No, it probably was you. If you got 4, 5 exes and all of them wasn't shit, and you was the prize, it's probably you. If you got 4, 5 businesses, all of them fail, and it was this, that, and third, the circle, the economy, the inflation, this, that. No, it's probably you, because you didn't manage your money, you didn't manage your time, you invested in everything else, you invested in everything around you, and you didn't invest into your relationship, you didn't invest into your business, you didn't invest into yourself, because you're so adamant about getting acknowledgement from the things that you have or the things that you have attained, that you lose yourself in the midst of it. And when are we going to realize that we have to be deliberate, we have to be accountable, and we have to be decisive about the things we want? We got to separate ourselves from a lot of different shit. We gotta go in our closet. We gotta sit down, get our pen and pad, and write down a solution for the things that we got going on. Many of us have situations and we never acknowledge them, and we never written them down, and we never been deliberate about the things, how we're gonna fix them. We never been deliberate about trying to find solutions. We never taken time amongst ourselves. We want to tell everybody. We want to tell our partners. We want to tell our girlfriends. We want to tell our family and friends everything that we got going on. Talk about the problem, talking about the issue, talking about this, but we never focus on the solution. We never focus on how we gonna fix it. We've always focusing on what's going on. We so quick, I need somebody just to vent to. I just need somebody to talk to. So many of us are probably up this morning calling our friend and telling them about the hard week we've had. Well, how are you gonna fix it? So many of us have, calling our partner and telling them about the situation we got going on with our girl. How are you gonna fix it? You're talking to the wrong people. You're putting your business in the wrong area. It's time for you to put it down on paper. It's time for you to come up with some solutions. It's time for you to get strategic about your life. And until you be deliberate about it, until you be exact about it, until you be consistent about it, you're going to consistently have those same issues. No matter the situation, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you're going to still have those same situations. I challenge you, change that mindset. Change the way you do things. Change the way you operate. Stop being so eager to include everybody and everything you got going on. Sometimes you got to go in silence. You got to go in solitude. You got to go in that closet, you and your journal, and you got to write down some solutions and be deliberate. And do it every day. Do it every day, because every day brings on new challenges. Every day brings on new issues. And until you be honest and be truthful about the things that you're dealing with and the things you've always dealt with, you're going to continue to have those issues. You're going to continue to go through the things you're going through. And that's why absence of everything that's going on around you is going to make the heart grow fonder. The day you take yourself off the scene, the day you start deleting those apps, the day you stop calling to vent to your friends and family, and you start venting to yourself and understanding where you went wrong. Stop pointing that finger and stop blaming circumstances, stop blaming other people, and understand that, hey, I can fix this. I got myself in this situation. I can get myself out this situation. I was indecisive in that situation. Now it's time for me to be more decisive and be more deliberate. Now it's time for me to find a real solution. Now it's time for me to be real honest. Now it's time for me to stop lying to myself. Now I got to stop trying to act like I got it going on. Now I got to stop thinking like I'm all that in a bag of chips. And at the end of the day, I am the problem. I am the reason I'm in this situation. I'm the reason why I got here. How am I going to do to fix it? I need to do this. I need to put this alcohol down. I need to put this weed down. I need to put these cigarettes down. I need to stop messing with these women. I need to stop messing with all these men. I need to stop going to the club every weekend. I need to stop doing this. Like, it's so many elements that if you really want to be truthful about your life, just think about it. If you saved every time you bought a fifth of liquor, if you saved every time you bought a pack of cigarettes, if you saved every time you bought an eighth of weed, instead of spending that money, just think about all the money you've thrown away, all the money you've blown on unnecessary things, going on this, doing this and doing that. I'm saying I'm all for having a good time. I'm all about enjoying life. But how many times repeatedly have you done something over and over and again and expecting a different outcome? You're going to get the same thing you've always done. Different outcomes require different actions. And if you continue to, be in the mix, be on the scene, want to be included in everything going on, jumping on every post, giving your opinion, venting to any and everybody, you're going to continue to have the same issue. That's why the whole world and the whole city and the whole neighborhood know what you got going on, because you're so quick to tell everybody. You're so quick to spill the beans on your life. But when you going to spill the beans to yourself? When you going to talk to God or whatever? When you going to get in seclusion and write down the things you got going on and write down some real solid solutions and understand that you got to fix this? You got to get yourself out of it. Ain't nobody else's fault but yours. You did this to yourself. You put yourself in this situation. You the reason why that relationship. I don't care what happened. I don't care what happened, because at the end of the day, you made a choice to be in that situation. You made a choice to stay in that situation. So guess what? If you don't decide to get out of it, you don't decide to do something different, hey, a round of applause. Now you get your claps. Now you get your claps with adversity that you got to deal with, because you're not being honest with yourself and you're so quick to point that finger at somebody else. Hold yourself accountable. Say, hey, it's me. It's me. And the day you do that, the day you start growing, the day things gonna change for you, the day you'll start seeing more in your bank account, the day you'll start seeing more healthy relationships, the day you'll start seeing a better career, the day you'll start seeing a better business is when you start holding yourself accountable for your actions. And you can't do that when you got all these distractions around you telling you how great you are, telling you how good you are, telling you all these great things. Ooh, you look good. You this, that, and your life credit score is a 300. When you going again, you got to have a reference. What reference point do you have to tell you who you are? I understand. Now, again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel good about yourself. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel like you are the shit. Because you are that motherfucker. You are that woman. You are that man. You are that person of influence. But at the end of the day, you got to have 3 references. Every application, I don't care whether you're talking about a job, you're talking about getting financing, whether you're talking about getting businesses, you got to have some reference. You got to have somebody to speak on your behalf. And if you're talking about that you dealt with nothing but sorry exes, how you gonna get a new man or a new woman? If you're talking about you all the jobs you work was a piece of shit, where your reference point gonna come from? Now we've got creative at it. Give our new job our homegirl, our homeboy. Phone them and say, hey man, I worked for you for 5 years. Like, I get that, but I'm talking about life. You can't lie to life. There's no way you can lie to life. Life is going to show up and it's going to show out. And until you get real and be honest and say, hey man, I need to work on myself. I need to go, I need to go in the closet. I need to go in solitude. I need to go, fix the things I got going on. And stop pointing that finger. And stop trying to be amongst all the people all the time. Stop trying to be at every function and do everything that everybody else doing. It's time for you to develop some individuality about yourself and work on yourself and be real with yourself. All right. And that's all I got for y'all today. I really want y'all to understand that when you're absent, you take yourself off the scene and you start truly working on who you are. You start working on your craft. You start working on your mind. You start working on your thoughts. You start working on your abilities. You start working on your communication skills. You start working on your honesty with yourself. You start working on your accountability with yourself. Life becomes a lot more simpler to handle. You're still gonna go through the trials. You're still gonna have your ups and downs. You're still gonna have shit that happen. You still might have a blowout on the highway, but guess what? Now you're being honest with yourself. Why did I have that blowout? Because I ain't get them tires. I bought one tire instead of getting the whole set. Like, it's so many things that you got to understand that you are the reason why a lot of stuff goes on in your life. And until you be real with yourself and be honest with yourself and tell yourself the truth and write these things down. I talk about that so often here on there with Mr. Be Great Today. Writing your things down is the life hack of life. When you put that pen to that paper and you speak it out of your mouth and you bring it into your mind and you contemplate on it and you figure out a way to make things right, it's the life hack. It can't do nothing but come to pass. And so many of us, so many people hear this and they hear it from myself and they hear from people who say the same thing. But so many people don't do it. There's so many people that don't have a journal. I don't care if it's just a spiral notebook. You got to find something to write your thoughts down with. You got to find somewhere to write down your plan. You got to find somewhere to write down your problems. You got to find somewhere to write down some decisive solutions and make it right in your life and make it right for the people around you that love you. And until you do it, and so many people that, and they wonder why they have the issue, because they haven't even taken time to acknowledge the things they got going on. They haven't taken time to acknowledge the things that they want. They haven't taken time to acknowledge that they need solutions for the things that they're going through, and they don't write them down. My listeners, if you're listening to me right now, I need you to invest in a journal. Go to Dollar Tree. They got them all day long. Go to Walmart. They got them all day long. Go get you some loose leaf paper. Get you some paper out of printer. Write on the back of a paper a grocery bag. I don't care what it is. It's time for you to write down some solutions. Write down your issues. Write down the things you do bad at. Write down the things you do good at. Find a way to get to your destination. And I need you to do it today. Today, not tomorrow. Don't wait the next week. I need you to start doing that today. I need you to write down some stuff I need you to get off the scene. I challenge you to delete your app for a couple months. I challenge you to work on yourself, work on your mindset, find some solutions in your life and write them down. Write them down today. And I challenge you, if you consistently do that, you'll consistently get better. All right? So y'all make sure y'all go check me out. Mr. Be Great Today on TikTok, YouTube, and Fanbase. Great Today INC on IG, and On Air with Mr. Be Great Today on Facebook. I love you all, and you already know. Be great today. Peace.